are two other ex-Rangers players playing. There's Willie Johnson at number 11, and at number 6, Sandy Jardine. Great number of honours, 18 years with Rangers, 39 caps, captain Scotland 6 times. And there's the Ayr United team. They've been struggling recently, knocked out of the cup by Albion Rovers. Another ex-Rangers player there, Eric Morris, number 11. And the referee today is David Galloway. He actually refereed a game in Uganda in front of President Amin, was given a medal for it. Vital game for Hearts, desperately anxious to get back into the higher echelons. And as an institution in Scottish football, they certainly deserve to be there. Carefully picked up. Willie Pettigrew, top scorer for Hearts this season. Willie Pettigrew, who has seen service with both Motherwell and Dundee United. This is Jardine. Decided to break forward. Johnson. Brilliant touch. You really can still turn it on, you know. That's a very neat ball. Can it be touched to the side, and Bowman can't get there. Morris flipped it away for United. A mass of white shirts. Well, that's a good-looking ball. And it must be yes. No, it's been given offside, and that is most unfortunate. I think, in fact, if Byrne had taken that himself and put it in the net, it would have counted. But O'Connor was in an offside position as that ball was slipped to the side. Beautifully picked up. Sweeps it in very nicely. Willie Johnson's there. How can he take on his fullback again? He goes to the line. That's a very good ball. Was that unfortunate coming off O'Connor's knee, and already Willie Johnson has ripped this United defence apart. Willie Johnson, one of the most controversial figures in British football, but beneath it all, he can play football. Fleeting. Was a nice deep little touch forward, and Morris tried to be much too precise about it. He took it very well, and I think Hearts must be asking themselves the question, how on earth did he get that opportunity in the first place? O'Connor. Mackay goes round the back. Did try the shot. Gary Mackay, who was in the youth squad which won the European Championship and will be off on his journeys to Mexico this summer to try and win the World Championship for Scotland. And the goalkeeper with the same name has been under a bit of pressure. Johnson's corner kick. There's Roddy MacDonald, and he got it again. Must be this time, yes. Swerved forward by O'Connor. The first goal of the game, totally merited. On the basis of Hearts' pressure, United have really done very little in this game so far, and Derek O'Connor sweeping it in very sweetly. The danger again coming from that corner kick. The backhander by Roddy MacDonald going right up there. He's done it 2 or 3 times in the game so far. And there was O'Connor to rifle his 17th goal of the season. Pettigrew. Kai. Made a bit too much of it. Nice touch by Willie Pettigrew again. O'Connor. Well, the smell of the goals is in his nostrils now, all right. Johnston. Quick as you like. save. Superbly struck there. Shields really hammered at. I think it looked as if it was going to be easy for the goalkeeper at first, and then it began to swerve away, and that was an outstanding save. Well, O'Connor put the both off. Willie Johnston, way to the side again, that acceleration still with him. Now with the right Petunia, the goalkeeper this time, who didn't like it. A bit apprehensive about it all. Dunn needs a touch and gets it. Now Johnston, good control again. The little body swerves he has, that was a much better tackle. Didn't get it away this time. McAllister picks it up, strong looking player. Buchanan. Now Robert Connor. Picked up there by Hetherington. United's most concerted move so far. And I think Kit wisely conceding the corner. Buchanan with the corner kick. Donald goes after it. Well, there's a deflection, it's in. I think there was a deflection there. Well, all the danger coming from that corner kick, with Roddy McDonald certainly making a challenge. The Hearts defence in general looking a little bit lackadaisical. The shot by McNaughton, but I think there was a distinct deflection, and I think that more than anything else beat Henry Smith. That's a corner kick. Johnston. That's an ear poke, brilliantly saved. Again, that boy of Johnson to Roddy McDonald almost paying off again. Accurate corner, brilliant header, and matched once again by Scott Mackay. Johnson goes all the way across to the other side of the field. Harder one. Mackay unhappy with that. Well, there was a bit of a pull, but Morris breaks. United in the break. McNaughton. Well, there's a good shot. Hearts more than a shade unfortunate to be on level terms. He should be well up. This bit too deliberate, that Willie Pettigrew. There's Bowman with a shot. It was in fact a very awkward ball for the youngster because it came slightly too high for him, and he had to try and get back, get some room, and he lashed out at it. So in from just behind the attack, this young man, Dave Bowman, is proving a very useful player indeed. Pettigrew just slightly off it. Then goes in. There's Willie Pettigrew and just off. Fox turning on the screw again. And I think Willie Pettigrew showing his experience because he was lying deeper than he has been in the game, but he was getting forward again for the return pass very quickly. An awkward height again for him, but I thought he did rather well to get a touch and try and push it away inside the left-hand post, just missing out on it. Well, I think there was a bit of pushing, there was. Ian McAllister. Well, the referee hasn't really had all that much to contend with in the game so far. He's in a good open game. Johnston, oh, look at that. Well, Johnston, of course, can still produce these electrifying bursts. I mean, there's no doubt he reacts in certain situations in a way that is not desirable, but when he turns on his play, it entertains, and that's why the punches are on the terracing. Shields coming forward to Johnson. That's a good ball by Johnson. Bowman wavering it slightly. He's been caught a lot in possession. Well, they crowd up again, United. They have only one man up. Everybody behind the ball, bar Bruce Cleland. Oh, very neatly on indeed. Kid on the far side. This is going to be a good one. O'Connor tries to get there. Yes! Pettigrew. 2-1. Wow. I wonder how many of our viewers have seen Willie Pettigrew snapping goals like that. Through the years, for Motherwell, Dundee United and now Hearts, not the easiest of balls to take, coming down towards him. He had to make sure it was cleanly hit, and there was absolutely no hope of Scott Mackay getting that. Pettigrew turned away from it. And we've had the occasional break by Ayr United, one or two of them causing some panic to the Hearts defence, but by and large, it's been a case of Hearts with almost total grip of midfield, flooding the Ayr United penalty area, and they could even have been a good deal more than 2-1 up. Well, there goes the half-time whistle. As I said, the Hearts very strongly in the lead, even though it's only 2-1. They've had the most of the game, and Willie Johnson, some of the best things in the match have come from that man, number 11. Controversial though he is, he can still entertain the people on the terracing. That first goal coming by O'Connor. O'Connor getting up there very quickly. As I said, Hearts were flooding the penalty area, getting the men in, and O'Connor scoring his 17th goal of the season. Yeah, United coming back in the 25th minute. There was a distinct deflection. McNaughton getting the shot in, and I think Henry Smith might have got it in the first place. But that neatly snapped shot by Pettigrew settled the matter in the first half, and Hearts are looking good at this stage. Off we go into the second half. The pitch is very soggy, by the way, in places, particularly in the middle. Sandy Jarden was telling me he was out on it at 10 o'clock this morning, and it was bone hard, but the frost has come right out of it. There's a very fast thaw in Edinburgh at the moment. That's a good ball. Byrne didn't quite have the pace. Connor. Bowman. A bit slack with it. That's a good back header. Good play by Hearts. Bowman. Willie Pettigrew. Excellent ball. Here's Pettigrew. O'Connor's inside it. Might have been a great goal. Best move in the game so far. Willie Pettigrew still has it. Might just get it, and we get a corner kick. Oh, that was a superb attacking breakaway by Hearts there. Good combination, neat play to the side, lovely ball forward for Pettigrew, who was looking inside for a corner, and the interception brought about the end of what might have been a glorious finale. Willie Pettigrew pecking a wee bit as he gets behind that, and Ronnie MacDonald once again got the back touch of the head. So we have Buchanan coming off and McInally coming on for Ayr United. Willie Johnston's decided to take this with his left foot. He can do it with either. Equal effect. That's off the line. Well, Willie Pettigrew once again getting up and got a clear header. We were right behind that. And that's what defenders had paid for. McAllister it was. Getting the head behind it and off the line. Johnston, another tasty cross. It's just over from the corner. I think maybe passing a comment or two in his own play. He was falling back, you see, and I think when he's doing that, the possibilities of elevation become greater. The way it went, soaring up into the skies. Kid played that well. Pettigrew, beautiful touch on Boone, can't get there. There's Mackay, will he get his shot? And he does, yes! On a miserable afternoon, a brilliantly lit goal. That is never an easy ball to take. But he did get the gap. And he did finish it in textbook style, and that must put a glow into every Heart supporter here today, with 17 minutes of the second half gone, 3-1. Morris. Did not much room at all there, and sheer perseverance paying off for a corner. Swept right across there by McNaughton. And Johnson comes away with it. Clever play by Johnson again. And that's a superb ball. Pettigrew, the corner is inside. Up comes Bowman. Can he get it to the line and get it back? There's not enough strength in his pass back, but a beautiful move by Hearts, who sporadically during this game have turned on the most delightful, entertaining football. Called in by corner. I think the full sense of players realise it's well nigh over. Pettigrew racing after it. Willie Johnson on the wing and given inside to Mackay. That's a good ball by Mackay. Bowman, yes! Oh, he took that so well. 4-1. Absolutely delighted with himself. So are the supporters. Again, a ball on the left-hand side. It wasn't too easy. Put through to him. He found himself in a very good position. Maybe a little bit surprised he got there at all. But look at the efficient, professional way he swept it in. And Hearts, overall in this game, have certainly impressed me. Bit of hesitation, but that is a good ball. Henry Smith has committed himself to that and does well. We have 1 minute remaining. Good ball by Jordan Byrne. Good run forward again by... Both Hearts fullbacks have done very well today coming forward. That time it was Shields to Johnson, trying to get it to his right foot, which he does. Wanted the reverse pass. Bowman. Bit too much walking the ball that time. Pressure still on. Jordan. Oh, lovely little dummy. This is a good move. Oh, brilliant move. Can he be put it away? Yes! Byrne finishes it. 5-1. Hearts have been full of these moves today. Good understanding. And I know one or two people have said the season of Hearts have been stodgy at times, but not today. When they've gone forward in numbers, there's been a lot of subtlety in the play as well as power. It was demonstrated there. Beautifully done indeed, and finished off by the man who comes from Dublin every weekend to play, Byrne. And that, in fact, is the final whistle. We've seen 6 goals. We've had a look at Hearts in very impressive form. There were dull patches in the game, but not all that many. Outstanding individual performances, and I think, quite apart from the players that we do know about from the past, like Sandy Jardine and Willie Johnson, the young players were very good, Mackay and Bowman in particular.
Really a splendid game by any standards, and the only losers were the people who didn't turn up. There was admittedly a poor crowd there yesterday. I think a combination of the poor midweek result that Hearts suffered and the unsympathetic weather. Next weekend will be a real test of Hearts' ability to pull their undoubtedly large support out. They're creating a little bit of club history by playing their cup game against East Fife on a Sunday. Now, it's the first time they've ever done this in a competitive match, and the break with tradition, I suspect, will have them rolling along the Gorgie Road in their thousands and underlining yet again how badly we need this club in the Premier Division. Now, frankly, I'm not really fussy how it's achieved by the end of the season, but one way or the other, Hearts and Hibs must next year be in the Premier Division. It would boost the game in the capital and have a spin-off effect on the rest of the country. It really is a must. Well, yesterday I spoke to both Alec MacDonald and Wallace Mercer after the game and about the performance on the field. I asked Alec firstly what influence the more experienced player had on the youngsters. Did they in fact have that influence?
Well, I like to think so, Archie. We spent quite a wee bit of time with them, and I think personally the best way of coaching these young lads just now is on the park, because they get the instant reaction from the experienced players. And there's no way like Sandy Jardine or myself or Willie Johnson is going to bollock kids for nothing. We're going to help them, and that's the type of people that Sandy Jardine and Willie Johnson are.
Now, the goals were particularly well taken. One or two of them, the build-ups were very good. I suppose as a manager looking out there, although I'm sure you wish you were playing yourself, you're delighted that that can happen, that your build-up is good and you can finish.
Yeah, very much so, Archie. I've watched quite a few games at the start of the week, and it was really long ball stuff. And we get caught a couple of weeks ago that we were playing the ball on long. But we had a talk one of the days, and we sat down and we started to play the football again, and I'm delighted that we're continuing it.
Now, we have with us today Wallace Mercer, who's come across to speak to us, and I've actually come here because I would like to put it fairly bluntly to you. Supposing Hearts didn't get promotion, although obviously it looks as if they would it be a disaster for the club?
It wouldn't be a disaster for the club, but in the end it would be very debatable whether we could stay to be full-time. I think it's very important, getting back to what Alec was saying about the development of the Bowmans and the Mackays and the John Robertsons, that being full-time you get the chance to develop them.
Very good, beautiful touch on Byrne, can't get there. There's Mackay, will he get his shot? And he does, yes! That's a good ball by Mackay. Bowman, yes! Oh, he took that so well.
Are you aware, Wallace, that many people in Scottish football would love to see Hearts get into the Premier Division and be the force they used to be in the land?
Well, that's right, but I mean, Alec and I both appreciate the only people who are going to help Hearts are Hearts themselves.
But you must remain full-time.
I think it's essential. If we get into the Premier Division, we've got to stay full-time, and I think it's also critical that a lot of other clubs stay full-time as well. I don't think the politicians fully appreciate the pressures that Scottish football is under just now, and the contribution, I think, that we make to the society within which we're working.
And in a sense, do you think because the background to the society at the moment, very difficult economic times, that maybe the structure of Scottish football ought to be looked at so that we can encourage full-time football.
That is correct, in fact, and I was at Dunblane recently with the other chairman in Scottish football, and there seems to be a wind of change about. There seems to be an attitude of mind by the Premier Division clubs anyway, that whatever happens, they want to get their affairs in order. We must get rid of this financial indebtedness of the top 5 or 6 clubs apart from Dundee United and Aberdeen, and some sort of new system has got to be organised. We can't keep on having the tail wagging the dog, because in the end we do supply certain clubs in Scotland by far the rump of the football public.